Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we're back to cover a training from juiceplus leaders, juiceplus top reps. This is one of those trainings that I've covered in the past, and just recently, a few weeks ago, there's a juiceplus YouTube channel, like the official juiceplus channel, where they post these kind of leadership trainings. And so far, it's always been interesting. They always say some problematic stuff, to say it nicely. So I thought we're gonna keep covering that. And this one's a little bit lengthy. It's over 40 minutes long, so we're just gonna get into it without further ado. It's still really hot over here. I mean, I didn't even bother changing my shirt. I'm recording 3 videos in one day and I'm melting. I still have my cat here to keep me cool when I get really warm and when I start melting. So sorry. I know that's annoying, like for me to like keep shaking my hand. My hair is everywhere, but it is what it is. That's what we're dealing with. Summer in Croatia. Do you prefer cold weather or heat? Please let me know down below because I don't know. I thought I prefer heat over cold, but living in Croatia, I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore. Before we get into the video, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. That's a nice free way to support my channel if you would like. And as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here. And let's just get straight into this video.
We're going to be doing some really fun things and I can't wait for you guys to see a little bit more. But let's get started. Happy Wednesday. April, my goodness, can you believe that we're April already? It's going wild. I'm so excited for everything that's lifting off inside our business world. But it did also get me thinking, what would I love to speak into today? And if I remember my journey of shifting, I'd always loved business, and business had always been something that piqued my interest. I loved the thought of being an entrepreneur and doing things on my own terms and having my own autonomy. But if I'm honest, even though I'd had successful businesses, I never had a great relationship with money. It didn't go hand in hand, even though I was working hard and I had a great brain and I could understand the ins and outs of marketing and what needed to.
Oh God, this is gonna be financial advice, right? From someone who's not a financial advisor. That's what it's sounding to me so far. But also, you're not an entrepreneur when you join juiceplus or any other MLM out there. You're an independent contractor for the company, the MLM company. I'm freelancing, video editing. I can edit whenever I want, whatever. Obviously, I have deadlines, but I work on my own terms because I don't have a Zoom call or a training from Julie or Erin that I have to attend every single day or a few times a week. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at? So you don't have your freedom. You're not an entrepreneur. You're not your own boss. It's not your own business. You do have some freedom. Obviously, you can choose whenever you're going to reach out to people, whenever you're going to talk to them, whenever you're going to cold message or whatnot, but you're not fully on your own. You're not an entrepreneur, that's for sure.
To happen and how to speak to my clientele, I couldn't hold any of the money that I was making. And in fact, when I look back now, knowing what I know, I was actually creating a lot of tumultuous activity that was pulling my money from me because of the state of fear that I was living in. So I love to talk a little bit about this because I think with the exciting things that we're going to be creating in our business over the next 12 months, I would love to see as many beautiful, strong women begin to have a healthier relationship with money. So when we start earning these life-changing amounts, we can actually love them, hold on to them, and give them the self-worth that they're needed. So who else? Let's have a look. Let's say this is your fear scale. Okay, we're going to get into the fear zone just for a little bit. I want you to think. Rate yourself 10, I'm petrified, right? Every day I wake up feeling stressed. I'm a little concerned about how much money is in my bank account. I'm always worrying about when the next bills are going to come in. And 0 is hell no. Like, I am so in love with my money. It's always there. It's always flourishing. Give me in the chat box a little sliding scale of where we're at. And please be real, please be honest and transparent. This is a judgment-free zone. The more honest that we can get with ourselves, the more area and room for growth that we have. Now, I find too, just to give you guys a little bit of insight, it doesn't, just because you're a 10 doesn't mean you're broke, right? I find that because I spent so many years in a fearful state of abundance.
First of all, I'm still confused as to why you're gonna go give financial advice when you're not a financial advisor, and what worked for you to be better at saving is not going to work for everyone. Also, you're like at the top of a product-based pyramid scheme, in my opinion, and the majority of people in your downline who are watching this, they're not even profiting from their juiceplus business. So, and obviously we are in 2024, and most people out there are struggling. Even if you're earning a good income, just the expenses are so high. Everything is so freaking expensive that it's probably stressful for everyone, let alone for people who are like on one income or who have children and whatnot. So again, why are we here and why are we doing this? We're not educated to give people financial advice.
I'm scared of having money and scared of money. But even though now that I have quite an abundant life, I can find myself slide back towards that 10, and I really have to do work, right? So just know that it's not exactly a correlation of how much money is in your bank. It's your energy and your thoughts and your emotion that's attached to the money. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'll put the chat box up so I can help with you guys. Perfect, Jade. Perfect. We're just talking about if 10 is the highest, I'm terrified of finances right now. I'm always feeling that it's taking up a lot of my mental space. I'm stressed about it. You know, I'm always thinking about, but do I have enough in savings? All of that kind of lack mindset when it comes to our relationship with money. Perfect. So we've got some really good sliding scales there. I love this. Thank you for your honesty, guys. Beautiful. Now, when we come into this, I'm actually rereading one of my favorite books. If you haven't read this one, put it on your list, right? The Law of Attraction by Abraham, Esther and Jerry Hicks. It's fantastic. I love the Law of Attraction. Actually, I should have read you that page that I was reading on. Oh yeah, perfect. How good's this? It opened straight back up to that exact page that I needed, right? So when we think about the Law of Attraction, it's a real buzzword, right? And you hear a lot of it inside this space, particularly on these calls, because the Law of Attraction is so damn real and it's so damn powerful. People used to be very frustrated with me. If you know my journey through juiceplus, I actually created my first 6 figures within my first 14 months of saying yes to this business. So I was kind of on a lot of radars. People were saying to me, what are you doing? Tell me about your seat. Can you get on my training and tell my people what you're doing? And I literally just kept saying, I'm manifesting this shit. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I am here. I am thinking about it every day. I am calling it in. And people would get annoyed because they're like, yep, but tell me, what are you doing? Like, what's your activities? Give me a DMO. I was like, I don't have a DMO. I am praying. I am manifesting. I am writing out this shit. I am calling in my people. And that's literally the state of energy that I was in every day. And I'll tell you what, it bloody works. The more that I learned about the Law of Attraction from both a spiritual perspective and a scientific perspective, the more excited I was about teaching other people the power that we all hold, right? Now, I'm a little bit of both. I love the science. Like, I love, Bob Proctor is actually one of my favorite gurus, I guess, to kind of break the science.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I feel like people who are really into science, like actual science, probably don't believe in manifestation. Well, at least not to this level where you believe that you can manifest everything and you can just pray and manifest and think about something and it's gonna come true. That's not how that works. How many people in her downline, there's probably thousands of people in her downline that are also thinking about having money, getting income from this MLM business, getting to the top where she is, walk the stage, and it's not helping. But I'm sure she's gonna say, well, you're not doing it right. You're just doing it wrong. She's probably not gonna say it outright, but she's gonna imply it.
From, because I think he does a brilliant job of talking about frequencies and the layers and different things around, I guess, the actual tangible part of the Law of Attraction. However, I love Abraham and I love the vortex and everything like that when we look at the real woo-woo side of the Law of Attraction and just how beautiful that can be. So this is going to all come together, I promise, but the Law of Attraction is very, very important when we look at having a healthy relationship with money, because when we think about the way that we're raised, a huge portion of us are actually raised in a lack mindset around finances. Can you guys relate to that? We're quite often seeing our parents struggle. We see them fight about money. We see them poured down their limiting beliefs by no fault of their own. It's just because, it's a generational thing. It's passed on. We're talking about money doesn't buy on trees. I can't afford that this week. We're not those type of people. We can't have the nice fancy car. And, you might have been in a family that consistently got your sister's old clothes or something like that. And these feelings of lack just start to become cellular memory, right? And a lot of the time when we think about that, this was deeply embedded through the Great Depression. So their parents, most likely, right? So your grandparents, who else had grandparents that would do weird things like take the sugars from, the cafes or take the napkins and give you like little different, they'd have weird little lack mentality around saving money, strange things, right? But the reason is because there was a huge embedded lack culture, which was actually part of their reality during that Great Depression and the wartime, where things really were scarce. However, who can relate to the fact right now we're fucking living in abundance? Like, we have knowledge at our fingertips like never before, right? We have technology. You look at AI, you can pretty much open up your phone and get it to do all sorts of shit. Like, I wanted to put a library.
All right, I thought she was gonna say we're all living in abundance, like financially, and like the life is so expensive. I know it's not like it used to be in the Great Depression, of course. Yes, with the technology and everything, the way the world has progressed, you can just Google anything and everything and whatnot. That I agree with, but financially, I just moved from Ireland where I was earning good amount of money and half of it would just go to my rent. I couldn't live there anymore because I was just working to pay off my expenses every month, so it just wasn't worth it. So I don't know.
In my living room, so I took a photo of it, put it in AI and said, tell me where the library, like where my bookshelf would look best. Came up with tell me that's not cool. We are living in the most abundant society ever. However, we just haven't caught up yet with our money mindset. We're still kind of pulling and stringing from those different cellular memories that have been passed down ancestrally through our humans. So this is a really cool thing that we get to learn. We get to break that down and we get to start thinking, okay, well, how do I shift that? I'm aware of it. I see it. How do I shift it? Now, one of the coolest things is becoming aware of the law of attraction, because the law of attraction here, I'm literally going to tell you what Abraham says about the law of attraction. There's a good handful of universal laws. The law of attraction is the foundation. If you don't understand how the law of attraction works, there's no point discussing or discovering any of the others. So this is one that I would encourage you, learn about, become friends with. If you've got any limiting stories around, it's one of those things, or it doesn't work, or it's a little bit fluffy, get rid of it because it freaking works. I will tell you, hand on my heart, that's how I've changed my life and how so many other people I know have changed their life as well. So the law of attraction is the first of the laws. And if you do not understand, you're not able to effectively apply anything else. Now, basically, it says the first law, the law of attraction says...
Obviously, I'm a little bit skeptical towards law of attraction, but please do let me know down below if you are a believer. Is that how you say it? If you believe in law of attraction, if you manifest stuff and things like that. I'm sure none of you guys are probably like on the level that she's in, but I know there are some people that do believe in it. I also know a lot of the people who are successful who don't believe in law of attraction. So explain that, Katrina.
That which is like unto itself is drawn. A very fancy way to say what we think comes back. What we are comes back. So if we're fearful about money, what comes back? Things that make us fearful about money. Right? And this was the situation I was stuck in for a good 6 or 7 years before I found juiceplus and did the work that needed to do to unlock a new consciousness of creation around wealth. Does that make a little bit of sense? Because what I was doing is, even when I was receiving money, I was so scared that it was going to disappear. I was so scared that I wasn't organized enough. I was so living in lack, that I was getting the big fines, right? Like, I have always been responsible, but I'd always end up with a weird fine somehow, whether it be a parking fine, a speeding fine, something strange, like it would rock up. My tires would blow. Something would happen with my...
I'm sorry, but speeding fine? That is not as strange. That's you being reckless and getting a fine for reckless driving when you're speeding. So that's not a weird fine at all. I would not call that a weird fine, but okay.
My car, my fridge, like random stuff would happen in my life that would make me spend money to replace things or to get back on top.
Well, how about you don't speed when you drive and you're not gonna get caught and you're not gonna, like, what? Are you serious right now?
You know the saying, the rich get richer, the wealthier get wealthier? I actually really believe that, because I believe for a lot of that part, people who have abundance, they've stopped stressing about money. And because they've stopped stressing about money, they've stopped attracting situations that pull the money from them in
People who are rich still get fined if they speed. If they keep speeding and driving reckless, it's probably just a matter of time when they'll get caught. Rich people's fridges break down. Sometimes their cars break down as well. Am I just being skeptical and mean? Or is she just not making great points?
obscene ways, right? Because I can't tell you the last time I got a speeding fine or a fine now. I can't tell you the last time that something in my house blew up. I spend hardly any money on my car, but it's still perfect. You know, like I remember one time, it was when I was actually just starting juiceplus, and I was so broke. Like I had no money in my account. I think it probably was even in overdraft, and I was just scraping around whatever was left. And I ran over a nail and it popped my tire. And I just remember sitting there thinking, what do I do? Like, what do I do? I've got to get my kids to daycare and I physically don't have money to repair this tire, right? None of that kind of shit happens to me anymore. And I'm sure there's still nails on the ground, right? But it is that different reality that I'm calling in, because I'm no longer in that scarcity mindset and that fear mindset. Can anybody relate to that? Candace, that's happening to you at the moment. Yeah, you can relate to it, hey? And it's always when you don't need it that it happens, because there's something subconsciously that's a little scared that it's going to happen. So when we go to the law of attraction, it really makes us take ownership. All right, well, where are we playing? Where are we playing? If we look at this gauge, I normally like to have my whiteboard. If you know me, I love my whiteboard, but this is going to be my little gauge right now, right? This is what I like to call my frequency meter. And it's just something that's apparent to me every single day. I've worked really hard on it, and it's changed the game for me. But every day I like to rate where my energy is sitting. So where am I playing, right? Am I playing down here with fear, judgment, lack, anxiety, stress, frustration, disappointment, shame, all the low end, below the line, right? You don't feel great. Comparison is down in here. Up here, we're looking at joy, we're looking at light, we're looking at love, we're looking at abundance, gratitude, authenticity, right? Kindness, compassion, and we get to choose. And when we go back to cellular memory, no one's ever really taught us that, unless you've got amazing parents. And if you do, go give them a big hug if you still can, because I find the generations before us.
So your parents are not amazing unless they taught you this? Okay.
They just turned up to be victims of their circumstance a lot of the time. And that's almost what we were taught. We get the chance to now break that for our children and teach them, you get to decide what state you're going to play in right now. And where this really comes into fact is when your life is shit, right? It's very easy to feel joyful and it's very easy to feel grateful when things are going good. However, when things are feeling crappy, if you're continuing to feel the frustration, the disappointment, the anxiety, the stress, the anger, right? How are you ever going to get to the life up here that you want to get? This, when you're feeling all these feels, this is what I like to call the inner work. And
I personally think that you can be frustrated with the shit that's happening to you as someone who has been through, I guess I attracted a lot of bullshit in my life in the past 3 years when I used to live in that shitty apartment with all the floods dirty water, and then we moved, and then we had pests in that house, and it was just a constant. There was constantly something. Someone crashed into our car when my dad was driving. My grandma fell and hurt her head. There was so much going on. I guess it's my fault for attracting all that negative energy. Was I frustrated? Was I angry? Was I sad? Was I frustrated for the most part? Yes. Was I ungrateful? No, I'm never ungrateful. I still know how to appreciate the good things in my life even when the shit is happening to me. You know, my family, health, things like that. But you can still be frustrated. You can be grateful and frustrated over something else that's going on. Like, that doesn't even make sense, lady.
This is what drove my husband wild when we first started dating, because I would say, he's rolling his eyes, because I would say all the time, you need to do the inner work. Like, right now is when you need to do the inner work. I was like, what the fuck is this inner work? Like, I work all the time. But the inner work is the things on the inside, the decision where you have to change, where you have to decide to do something that doesn't feel comfortable. So when life is going crazy, and I can tell you this from a place of I've had a crazy life. I definitely have had some chapters that I won't speak aloud, but they were the best chapters for me to practice this gauge, because that's how I got out of them. If I had have continued to spend every day fearful, scared, frustrated, feeling stuck, I never would have got out there. What I did is, in those moments when I could feel scared, I thought, what do I have right now to be grateful for? What do I have right now to feel joy? What can I do to go and feel some connection or some kindness or some compassion? Because that's how I slowly but surely, made sure that I could get myself out of my situation. Right? Make a little bit of sense? And it's in those moments. The cool thing is, right, when you look at the frequency of love, it is 700 times more powerful than frustration. 700 times more powerful. So sometimes when people are thinking, oh shit, but I've spent all morning being frustrated and now I'm going to attract more frustration and I'm going to attract all the things. If you just spend the next 10 minutes in a feeling of love, of gratitude, of joy, a state of bliss, like spend that whole 10 minutes writing down a gratitude list. See if you can get to 100 things you're grateful for. Within those 10 minutes, you've rectified all of your shitty thoughts all morning. You're now playing in a state of love, because love is so much bigger, right? It is going to diminish anything. But unfortunately, what happens is a lot of people haven't been given permission to feel fun, to feel joyful, to feel hope, right? So they're quite often just defaulting back down to the bottom line, and then, of course, bringing more of that kind of stuff back. So when we look at that kind of stuff, it's a bit of a two-part to the book. The first part is becoming aware of what frequency you're playing with, taking ownership. Which I'll tell you what, coming from, so one of those chapters that I was in was a very domestically violent relationship. And when people used to say to me, it's the law of attraction, you create your reality, I used to get feral, like absolutely feral, because I would say, you have no clue what's going on in my life. And I'll tell you what, I don't attract this. I don't want it. I'm a good person. I don't deserve it. Right? And I would tell them all the reasons why I didn't deserve to be in the spot that I was in. However, looking back now, absolutely I attracted it. It was part of my chapter and I'm really grateful for it. But there was so much going on in my life that I didn't love myself enough. I didn't play on a higher frequency. I didn't demand more. I didn't have better standards. And I know now why I felt so stuck in that chapter. But
did she just say that she's grateful for being in a domestically abusive relationship? As someone who has been physically and mentally abused in the past. I was 19. I cannot understand the people. I know, like, we all deal with our stuff on our own ways, but I never understand when people who have been through shit say that they're grateful for that. Did I learn some good lessons from that? Yes, I did. Was I lucky to pull out of it and heal? Yes, I did. Not fully though, because I still have a lot of trauma that I live with every single day. I have had years and years of therapy, nightmares every single night. Just not everyone is lucky enough to heal from a traumatic event. Would I ever say that I'm grateful for that and that I attracted what happened to me? No, in my opinion, that's a really twisted way of looking at stuff, because sometimes shit happens. It's not all law of attraction. It's not all written. I don't believe that it is, at least. Shit happens to good people every single day. A lot of the people live in those kind of relationships. A lot of the people are not able to, or don't have a good support system, and they just can't get out of those kind of relationships and they stay trapped in them. And you to say that they're attracting that and just kind of blaming it on the victims, to me is really twisted. Oh, I blind react to these trainings. I never watched them before I react to them, and I somehow always come across this topic that triggers me the most. I guess I attract it, do I?
But I also am really grateful for taking the chance to play into the higher frequency more, because as soon as I did, those things actually physically started dropping away. Physically. Crazy. It was crazy. To the point now where I look back at those chapters and I can't even recognize myself, because I've done so much of the inner work now and my frequency generally just defaults straight up this top end. And I know for you guys, if you haven't done any work on this before, it's going to be a journey. But remember, have those little moments of like, okay, judgment. Where am I at? Where's my awareness? But if you're going, oh, shivers, I've played really below the line all morning, you know, my kids have irked me, nothing's feeling good, I'm stressed out, all of those things, and then you judge yourself harder, you're still playing below the line, right? What you have to do is you have to accept yourself, you have to love yourself, you have to go, okay, cool, I see that. That wasn't really good. What can I do? Ask yourself a better question. What can I do right now to lift my frequency higher? Now, when we come back to our healthy money talk, right? There's the exact same affiliation with the law of attraction to your abundance. Now, one of the coolest things I ever heard in relation to finances is treat your relationship with money like a marriage. And let's get a little bit real and honest right now. If you were married to your money right now, you were married to your money.
Is it just me, or is this a roller coaster, a dumpster fire, a shit show, one might say? Like from manifestation to abusive relationships to financial advice. Finally, we're getting to financial advice.
You're in your beautiful dress and your money's stacked up next to you and you're at the counter and you're ready to say, I do, right? How are you feeling about that? Do you trust? Do you have faith? Do you respect? Right? Do you show compassion and love and gratitude to your bank account? Or are you demanding? Are you unhappy? Are you unfulfilled? Sorry, guys. How is that looking? Right? When you open up your bank account, what's the first thought that you're sending to your potential husband? Right? So, again, my money's gone, I don't know, I have this bill coming, right? Or is it, wow, I am so grateful, right? And this is really cool because it's payday today in our juiceplus business. And I always think we need to be grateful for every
payday in juiceplus, which means the majority of people don't get anything, or even if they get a little paycheck, it's usually really small, and the majority of people in juiceplus, the distributors, are not making any profit.
little dollar that we get. Let's be real. Inflation is full force right now. The economy is wild. I can pretty much imagine that every single one of us on here would like to be earning more than dropped in the bank account today. Because, I mean, we all want more, right? We all want more choices. We want to do more things. However,
if you're earning like $10 from your Juice Plus business, it doesn't matter if there's inflation or not, you would probably want to earn more than $10. If people even earn $10, that's probably generous a month.
We look at that and we want to change the amount that's in there. If that was our potential partner, what would they be thinking? They wouldn't be feeling respected. They wouldn't be feeling honored. Yeah? Do you get where I'm going? They'd be feeling, oh, I tried so hard. Here I am showing up and I'm still not enough. Here I am trying to pay her electricity bill and trying to give her kids food for the next week and I'm still not enough. Yeah? And that was really eye-opening for me because I still find at this stage I have to fall and slide back into the abundant mindset, the high-end frequency when I think about money, because I did spend so many years in survival mode, it's almost stuck. And I have to do a lot of work to make sure that it comes out. Yeah? But when I look at that metaphor of, okay, if I was to be married to my money right now, would we have a healthy relationship? Would we feel mutually respected? Am I respecting my money and is my money respecting me? Is that how it works? Now, slipping back into it, if you're still down into that bottom frequency of life and you're really trying your hardest to lift yourself up, right, which I totally honor and respect, it can feel really hard if you know the money that you're coming in isn't covering everything that you need. And that's when we can start to feel fearful, right? However, I really challenge you, feel grateful instead. I want you to think about the things that that money is doing, not that it's not doing. What is it doing this month? Right? What is it paying? What is it giving you options for? I always talk to my team around the fact of how funny it is when we get a bill that the first thing we do is we fall into lack. We fall into shit. Where's this going to come from? Here it is. Of course it comes now. But let's just say,
of course, your team is feeling that way. The majority of them are not making any profit in Juice Plus. Of course, they're gonna feel that way when they get a bill when they don't profit from Juice Plus. I mean, Juice Plus is just another bill for them because they're spending a shit ton of money on those Juice Plus supplements that they probably don't even need, in my opinion.
Hey, this is your electricity bill. This electricity bill could be showing up. The other perspective of it, it could be showing up and saying, hey, for the next quarter, I'm going to turn on your lights. I'm going to turn on your TV so you can have family movie night. I'm going to keep all your food fresh so you don't get sick, so you can prepare amazing meals for your family, right? I'm going to keep you safe. I'm going to keep you warm or cold. I'm going to do all these things for you and I'm still not enough, right? Can you understand how if that was in a relationship, it's going to continuously cause issues? So I really want to challenge you guys for the next perceivable future. Every time you start to feel those old feelings of fear and lack and not enough come up, I challenge you to do the inner work and think, not today, mate, not today. We're going to play in the gratitude zone. We're going to feel compassion for our money. We're going to feel kindness towards our money and gratitude and respect, right? And we're going to really play on a different level. Now, when we come back to the beautiful law of attraction, knowing that the top end of the frequency can sometimes be up to 700 times more powerful, how quickly do you think your life is going to change if you can make this a habit on the daily? Exciting, right? And this is the exciting side of the law of attraction. Again, it's the perspective. Some people look at it and they think, how dare you tell me that I've created my reality? You don't know what I'm going through. This shit's hard, blah, 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 right? But the other side of it says, wow, this is powerful, man. This means that I can take that back. I can change my life finally. I can be in control. I don't have to stay here forever. And that's some really, really inspiring perspectives. So it's really cool. We get the option right now of the relationship we're going to have with abundance. How exciting. Does anybody feel like they're going to approach their bank account a little bit different today? With a little bit more kindness, with a little bit more joy and fun and respect. And now I'm going to give you a few real tangible tips because I know people like the tangible stuff, right? When I first came into this business, I did some amazing money mindset beliefs. If you are here to generate a full-time income and beyond inside your JP business, I want to encourage you, do work on your money mindset. Read books about the law of attraction.
You reading the law of attraction and working on your money mindset and shit like that is not going to change the fact that the business model, MLM business model, is set up so that you're going to fail. And unless you joined early or unless you have a big following on social media, you're never going to profit from your juiceplus business. So you working on your money mindset is not going to change the fact that you're still doomed to fail and you're never going to profit in juiceplus. As always, the income disclosure statement from juiceplus is linked down below. The statement that juiceplus puts out itself that shows that the majority of distributors in juiceplus are not profiting.
Books about wealth. Read books about, and not just about how to invest, about money mindset, right? About how to change your relationship with money, because you've just entered a vehicle that has no glass ceiling on your earning. We spoke to a man on Monday night who earns 7 figures a month in commission. There is no ceiling for you guys. So the limit that you're putting on yourself right now is a direct reflection to your money stories. So if you want to be earning more, fixing up those money stories, Think and Grow Rich. Yes, Kerry, that is one of my favorites. I cannot recommend that enough. Hey, and if you want to know another really cool one after Think and Grow Rich, read Think and Grow Rich first. And then there's a second version that is beautiful, but it's got to be second. You've got to read Think and Grow Rich first, right? Because you've got to have those foundations. Then go and order Thank and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. Phenomenal. It'll blow your mind. But it's absolutely amazing. If you read those two together, these are the kind of work that truly, if you do it in combination with the high-paying activities of this juiceplus business, you're going to really see some shifts, and you can be one of those people that's calling in this amazing money and not feel scared of it on the other end. Let's be real. Let's go real talk for a little second. Who else, with the thought of earning $20,000 or more a month, you can feel a little bit of fear in your belly somewhere in your body? You're like, oh God, really? What? $20,000 a month for you, just you, coming into your bank every month, right? There's a little like, oh, right? That is your self-worth. Yeah. Now let's be real. I love that, Amy. Thank you so much for your transparency, because I was exactly the same at the start. Now imagine, if we can't even imagine it, how on earth are we going to bring it to us? Right? How on earth can we? And I'm sure that some of us would really like $20,000 a month. And I'll tell you why. You can help a lot of people with $20,000 a month. It doesn't have to all be about you. Imagine even if you gave half of that back. If you only needed $10,000, because some people are, I don't need that much. Yes, you do. Because you take your portion and you give the rest to places that do need it. If you've heard my mission in this life, it is to make sure that more wealth lands in good hands. We're in such a pivotal society where we do have such an abundant lifestyle. Like, I know 20-year-olds right now who are earning $20,000 and plus a month online. That was not a thing when we grew up, right? That was not a thing. 20-year-olds earning $200-300 grand? Hell no. It was, you had to go hard, you had to work hard, you had to get all your studies done, you had to do all the right things. Times are changing, and we're in this pivotal society right now where we really can call in abundance because it's available.
I had a little smirk a few moments ago because she said the thing like she wants the wealth to get into good people's hands or whatever, something in that sense. Isn't it ironic that that's being said by a scammer? In my opinion, she is earning so much money based off of her downline who are working hard hundreds, if not thousands of people who are working hard, trying to make this business work from them, trying to profit from it. They never do. But she gets benefits off of their hard work. I just can't. Oh my God, this is a roller coaster.
To absolutely anyone, right? So it's really, really damn exciting. So I would encourage you, do some tangible things, learn about the money stories, understand where your money is going. Now, this is a hell of a confronting thing, but it comes back to being in a relationship and having that respect and the clarity and the intention behind your marriage. Know where you're spending your money. Get clear on it. Go through the last 30 to 60 days of your bank account. Pull apart, how much am I spending on groceries? How much of that is wasted on fast food, right? How much am I spending on each bills? How much am I spending on my living utilities? How much am I spending on my rent or my mortgage? And have all of these figures laid down. Shani does an amazing training on this because Shani and I went to the same person to learn about it. So you can actually find that in your virtual.
While you're doing that, it would be great if you make a profit and loss statement. If you're in an MLM, if you're in juiceplus or any other MLM, just take a look at how much money you're spending per year on the MLM products that you're purchasing. How much are you getting paid for your hard work and effort in the MLM, and then see if you're profiting from that MLM. That would be great. Instead of looking into your subscriptions and how much you're paying for this and that, take a look at how much money are you profiting from your MLM and if it's worthwhile. Because I bet the majority of people would come to a conclusion that it is not worthwhile and they're not profiting, they're working for free.
Virtual office, if you go and have a look at your resources. This training, it will tell you to break down your expenses so that you can start to not have an emotional attachment every month. So let's just say you have $10,000 of expenses in your household, right? You know that, say, $1,500 of that is going to food every month. You know that so-and-so is going to mortgage. You know that this is going to your utilities account. This is your rego, your electricity, your water, your rates, whatever else you've got in there. You've got all of this separate. Do you kind of understand what I mean? And you can have different pockets, different accounts. So then that way, when you get your big lump sum, you go, okay, well, 1,500 is going here. 1,000 might be going here. 500 is going to savings. 500 is going to each of us to play with each month, right? So that we get our own money for working hard. But there's no more emotion. Because if you just leave that $10,000 in the bank account, all of a sudden it's like, I'll take this and 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 this. And then towards the end of the month, you're thinking, oh shit, we've got nothing again. And that's when the bills pop up. That's when the things pop up that start to stress you out.
I mean, at this point, you can look at your juiceplus supplements being a bill because those supplements are so expensive. Even if you need supplements, first of all, go talk to your doctor, go talk to your medical professional, see if you actually need any vitamins. If you don't, you're paying for supplements that you don't need and you're paying a shit ton of money. So juiceplus products, juiceplus business is also, in my opinion, a bill for the majority of people who are working for free. They're not profiting from their business, but they're still putting in so much money into juiceplus.
And it's very easy to slide into this lower end of the scale. If you get very organized and you take your head out of the sand with your money, it gives you a lot of clarity around, okay, well, you know what? I really need to stop spending money here. I need to start making this more of a priority. I need to start doing that, and that. Now, some of you, I want to be really transparent with you guys, really honest. When I first started this business, coming out of the relationship that I was in, there was a lot of financial abuse. And to be honest, just a lot of silly mistakes. So I had a lot of debt and a lot of, defaults. A lot of defaults on my credit file. So much so that I had this story that I would never own a house just because I knew that my credit rating was so bad, I didn't think any banks would ever loan me money. And when I first did this mastermind and money training, he talked about getting your head out of the sand, calling the debtors, calling the people, making sure that you know where all your money's going, looking at your debts and working out how do I pay this down faster so I'm not wasting money on interest and all the things. And my gut, I just felt so sick. I was like, I shouldn't be here. I'm not ready to face this yet. This is not my lane. Like, just all the shame started flooding into me, right? But I knew that I wanted a bigger life, so I took ownership and I went and I did all the damn things. I called up all the people that I was avoiding. I made payment plans. I went through every single little bit of my finances and got really tight and really committed on it. And I mean, it wasn't the next day. It took a good 12 to 18 months to even just sort that all out. But within 2 years, I'd bought a home that was worth $1.3 million by myself. Right? And for me, that was like, holy shit, this stuff really works. Like, this really works. Taking your ownership. And of course, I worked hard. I manifested it. I turned up in my business every single day. But I took a lot of ownership in shifting from the shame and the guilt into, okay, appreciation, respect, looking after this, right? I'm going to respect my money better than what I have been. So that made a really big difference for me. So my first tangible request for you guys is go and do a money audit. Have a look where things are going. Where can you neaten up? How much is going into each thing? And when you get paid,
how much is going into your juiceplus business that you're not profiting for? Very important one. Don't forget to do that, guys.
Allocate that amount out so that you're not left at the end of the month or the week or the fortnight feeling stressed out and falling into that bottom category. These next 3 things are really fun and they're really simple that you can do right now today. The next one, go and clean out your wallet and your handbag. Right? When we look at that respect component, if it's your money's house, if that's where all your abundance is sitting, who else is a general female and has a handbag that's got just about everything in it? It's got all sorts of things. It's got some Band-Aids, it's got an old lollipop, it's got 5,000 receipts, it's got a hairbrush, it's got some rocks from the beach that the kids gave you, some old moldy flowers, right? There's so much in there because it just gets popped in there every day. I would love to see, right, if you could open your wallet or open your handbag and it was organized, it was respected. There's not some fly little receipts bopping around, right? It's all immaculate. It looks neat, it looks excited, it looks respected, it looks appreciated. We give your money a house that it can feel excited in. Really simple, but you watch. Sounds simple, but it works, I promise. Number 2 to do, which is really simple and you can go do today, get some cash out. Always have cash on you. I don't care if it's only $5 in a note, but have some cash on you. Because one of the shittiest stories you can tell yourself is, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any money, right? I'm sorry, yeah, I don't have cash on me. Because that's a story. If we look at us as being a big receptor and a big antenna, we're literally telling the universe, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have cash. Oh, I wish I just spent my last cash. I don't have money, right? And how many times do you see something like, I always go past if there's a busker, right? And there could be playing some amazing music and I think, oh, damn, I don't have any money, right? Sending that out to the universe. So I want you to make sure that you almost always have some cash inside an organized area. If you're not loaded, then it doesn't have to be a lot. But if
I have OCD, I'm really, really clean and everything is super organized. So my bag, I only have like wallet, a pack of gum, and my keys and my phone when I'm going somewhere. So that's all I have in my bag, and my wallet is super organized and there's no receipts or anything. I always clear out my bag. Does that change how much money I'm earning and how rich I am? No, it doesn't. Sure, have some cash so that you can give it to someone who's playing music or an instrument or singing on the street. I like to do that sometimes as well. Does that change anything in my financial world or the message that I'm sending out to the universe? No. Not really. I'm not sure what we're doing here. To me, like I said, maybe I'm too skeptical for this kind of training, but to me, this is all BS. This just sounds like pure BS to me. That's just my belief system, my limiting beliefs, I guess.
you can, how nice does it feel? Am I the only person, if you open up your wallet and you've got some cash sitting in there, you feel better, right? You feel more excited. The self-worth kind of bubbles up a little bit. I love when I sell things on Marketplace and they pay me cash because I'm like, oof, this feels good, right? So foster feelings like that. make sure that you're really allowing that to sit more common in your reality so it can become part of your existence a lot quicker. And then the third one that we can do from today, which I want to encourage, is going to become a new story for you. Whenever you see cash on the ground, you pick it up and you bless the universe, God, source, creator, whatever you believe in. Whenever. I don't care if it's a 5 cents. I don't even care if it's a foreign coin. I don't care if it's something, right? How many times do you walk past it's a 5 cent and you're like, oh, keep going. But when you think about it, the universe just gave you money and you walked past it. That was the story that you just set for the universe.
What about the person who lost that 5 cent? What happened to them? Why did they deserve to lose that 5 cent, I wonder? What would her explanation be for that?
Actually, I don't need that. I'm fine. Are you fine? Because if you pick up the 5 cents and you get excited about it and you see it as a blessing and you think, yes, that's the receptor that you're sending out to the big order. Right? I think it is so, so important. Absolutely. I love that. And, it's really easy to feel excited if it's something good. Like if you see a $5 or $10 note floating around, it's like, yes, that's cool. But sometimes when we see those tiny little treasures, yeah, it's fine. It's not necessary. Can't buy much for 5 cents. Can't buy much for 10 cents these days, right? But see it as a sign from the powers that be that they're delivering your requests of money. Right? And I want you to see, yeah, exactly, in an old pocket, something like that. Every time you find lost money or you see it come your way, I want you to spend a little second in that high end of the frequency, feel the gratitude, thank them, right? And play in a space.
It goes without saying that if you see the money falling out of someone's pocket or a bag or something, yeah, pick it up but give it back to them, right? Because she didn't say that. I know she doesn't mean it that way. Don't come at me.
Wow. Because you'll be so surprised just how much this begins to change the game and show you, wow, these just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because the most amazing thing is when you learn about your money mindset, and I'm not going to go too much in it today, but you can play with attracting some really cool stuff. If you get up to Pam's Thank and Grow Rich, she does some amazing exercise on calling in some big amounts of money. And it's fantastic. And the powers that we have are really big. So thank you for playing with me today. If you are excited about calling in more money, I would really encourage you to play in these areas, become aware, do the inner work, learn more about your money mindset and attracting into things that you want, using the universal law of attraction, because I can promise you the people that I've seen really learn about them, they really win. And I want that for all of you guys as well. So big love.
All right, big love. I mean, she wants all that for her downline where the majority of people are not profiting while she's profiting off of their hard work. Okay, lady, whatever you say. We've been here for almost an hour. If you watched all the way through, thank you so much. I know this was really hard for me because of the triggering part and then just all the stuff that I really don't believe in. I'm skeptical towards it. So it was a hard watch. So let me know down below if it was the same for you or if you feel different, or maybe if you do the law of attraction thing and if you believe in manifestation. Feel free to share it below. This is a no judgment zone. I'm not gonna judge anyone for their belief system. It's just for me personally, it was a little bit hard to listen to this rich lady brag about buying 1.2 million house all by herself. Anyhow, again, thanks so much for watching, especially if you made it this far, and don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. That's a nice free way to support my channel if you would like. There's no pressure. And big shout out to my channel members as always. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.